I ate sardines only for 3 days, and this is what happened. Hi there, I'm Sue. Welcome to my channel. I just thought I'd do a quick video to talk about what happened when I did a 3-day sardine fast just recently. So it was probably about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago. I decided to try doing a 72-hour sardine fast. So I allowed myself only sardines and butter and bone broth. And some people do the sardine fast, but they allow other bits and pieces in more than that. But no, I just sardines, butter and bone broth was it. So what happened? I, for a start, don't like sardines, and I had never actually eaten them until 2 weeks before I did this. So I decided to start trying them and see if I could actually eat them. And I can, they're okay, but I don't love them. And I had been listening to Dr Boz talking about this sardine fast idea. And I didn't really know why I was doing it, but I just thought, oh, well, I'll try it and see what happens. So what I ate was a grand total of 6 tins of sardines. So the cans we get here in New Zealand, they are only small, and the ones that I buy are from Poland. They basically have 2 sardines in them. They must be a bit bigger than some sardines, I think. And I buy them, and they're in spring water, so I don't buy the ones in oil. And each of those tins is about just over 100 calories, 105 calories, I think. Okay, so the sardines that I was eating mostly are about 100, this is them here. So they are Brunswick, and they're from Poland. And they are, yeah, they're about 100 calories, I think it worked out to be 105 calories per can, which is 1 serving. And so the first day I had 1 tin of those for lunch. I just pan fry them in butter. I know they're already cooked, but it just makes them taste a little bit better. So I just pan fry them in butter, and then I had two of these for dinner. So that was a grand total of about 320 calories between the 3 of them. Not that I was focusing on the calories, but I was just interested to know how much I was eating. So there was a grand total of about 320 plus the butter, and then I had maybe 1 bone broth with some butter in, probably about a tablespoon maybe, or half a tablespoon of butter in. And that was what I had my first day. Second day, I didn't eat all day, and then I had 3 of these for dinner. And I actually air fried them, so I didn't do them in butter that second day. Something that I discovered is that there's big differences between your brands of sardines and how they taste. So these ones here are what I'd been eating and buying, and these are about $2.50 each, I think, in the supermarket where I get them. And then I thought I might run out on the 3rd day because I wasn't sure whether I was going to have enough. So I zapped into town to our little grocery shop. And the only ones that they had were these Pam's one, which are like a plain brand, home brand kind of thing here in New Zealand. And these are from Thailand. And they're in spring water, but they're completely different and they're not nice. The second night I had a mixture of 2 of these and 1 of these air fried. And what I found with these is that they're really tasteless, and they're smaller, but they're really tasteless and almost like they're overcooked or something. I don't know, they're not nice. So I've got 1 tin left of these, and they'll probably sit in the pantry forever until I feed them to someone's cat, I think. But the other ones are edible. Like, you know, they're not, I don't love them, but they're okay. And so a lot of the time when I'm not doing the fast, because I've committed to eating those, I'm trying to eat them at least once a week because I feel like my body really likes them. And so I'll just pan fry them in some butter with prawns because I like prawns, and I just kind of put them together and they're okay. But when I was doing the sardine fast, it was only the sardines and butter, or just the sardines when I air fried them the second day. So as I was saying, I had 3 tins at that night air fried, and again I had some bone broth with butter blended into it at dinner time as well. And then the 3rd day I didn't eat anything right up until tea time, and then I just had my normal dinner of steak or whatever. So that was what I did. So it had gone from the first night through to 1, 2, 3 that night, that third night, so basically 72 hours. Dr Boz, the way that she recommends that you do it is that you actually don't start your 72 hours until you have your first can of sardines, and then you go 72 hours from there. And I think she prefers you to finish during the day rather than at night. I can't remember, but I wasn't going that far. So what I found was that I got into ketosis. So in this last 12 months, even before I went carnivore, I did keto for a couple of months. I struggled to get into ketosis, which was kind of interesting. And I have done this whole 12 months. So the only times I actually really seemed to go into ketosis was if I did a longer fast. And it would take me probably close to the 48 hours often. And then as soon as I eat some red meat or something, I would just drop back out of it again. And so I figured that my liver has been converting that meat to glucose, doing the gluconeogenesis thing, and that my body hasn't really got to a point where it's been fat adapted. Now, there's probably a few reasons for that. I think it's probably just has been the general condition of my body and my overall health. And I think too, because I've been in and out of phases of eating a few carbs, trying to manage the diarrhea that I had. So I went through stages where I was eating, potato every now and then, a few different fruits and things, just trying to manage that stuff. And then berries, so mostly blueberries. But the blueberries in themselves shouldn't stop the ketosis as long as you're not having too many, because I mean a cup of blueberries is only like 20 grams of carbohydrates, and that's not net carbs, that's total carbs. So they shouldn't really be an issue. But I think it's just has been my body. So what I found was when I was doing the sardine fast, I went into ketosis, and then since then I've been in ketosis most of the time, which is really interesting. And my weight, I went down 600 grams in the 3 days that I was doing the sardine fast, and then since then I'm down a total of 3 kilos. So it's like it's kind of helped my body to become fat adapted, and I'm actually starting to drop some weight. Even though I'm just eating the way that I was before. I've even been having some blueberries off and on, and I still stay in ketosis. To this afternoon, I measured my ketones, and I was out. And that's the first time that I've actually measured my ketones, and haven't been in ketosis since I stopped doing the sardine fast. And I've been measuring a couple of times a day, and a couple of hours after meals and that sort of thing, and I've still been there. A lot of the time but still been there. So I find that really interesting and kind of exciting that it's made that much of a difference. As I said, I kind of felt like when I first started eating the sardines, like my body really likes them. And I think there's probably a genetic thing there, because on my mum's side of the family, we had generations and generations and generations that were fisher folk in Scotland. And so that's where my mum's side of the family comes from. And so that's maybe got something to do with it. I don't know. But so I've made a commitment to myself to try and eat these at least once a week. For the iodine as well, I've been using a little bit of seaweed as well. I've got a salt that's got seaweed in it. Been using a little bit of that as well. Just because I've had thyroid issues in the past. So if you watched my videos, I think I've talked a fair bit about that in the past. And I've had an overactive thyroid and been underactive subpar for years. But I can't take iodine. If I do, I get weird thyroid symptoms. I think I'm just really sensitive to it. So I thought if I have it in with food, then that's probably the best bet, and it seems to be working. I don't know whether it's that or whether it's the fats that are in the sardines or what. Something is working. So I thought I'd share that because it's really kind of interesting. And so I kind of figure that if I get to a point where things plateau or aren't doing what I want them to do, I'll just do another sardine fast. And so I might even do one of those a month or something, or even more often. Just I'll wait and see. I don't relish the thought because I don't really like the sardines, but it did something. So yeah, so if you're thinking about doing a sardine fast, I'd say go for it. If you're having problems getting into ketosis, getting your body to become fat adapted, if you are having problems, if your weight has plateaued, I would really suggest that you try it. I mean, some people love sardines, so it's not a big deal, but a lot of people don't. They're like me. I mean, we had bought sardines off and on for a few years, and I'd put them in the pantry with a view to trying them, because I'm always keen to try things that I think are going to be healthy for me. And in the past, I've made myself eat things that I didn't like. So I'd buy them, and then they'd sit in the pantry, and then we'd end up using them as fertilizer underneath the veggies in the veggie garden, because they work really well for growing veggies. So yeah, so that's my sardine fast story. If you've tried this, put a comment in below. If you've got any questions, below. And yeah, if you like this video, found it helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I do more videos. And I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again another day. Okay, bye.